Hey, Feisty listeners, Feisty founder and CEO Sarah Gross here. I am super excited to let you all know that our brand new suite of digital courses is officially live and on demand starting June 9th. And these courses are designed for one purpose: to give active women like you the tools, knowledge, and support you actually need to thrive. For far too long, women's health has been treated like an afterthought. But not here, not anymore. Whether you're dialing in your nutrition, building strength, navigating hormonal shifts, or just trying to stay sharp and feel like yourself, you'll find expert-led, science-backed courses built for real life and real bodies. And to celebrate this launch, you will get 25% off all courses through the end of June. Check them out now at livefeisty.com. The link will be in the show notes, because your health deserves more.
Feisties, we are back. This is Kelly. I have Katie and Joanne with us, and we have a special Feisty guest this week. We've been promising Lydia Russell, who's behind the scenes usually, and now she is in front of the microphone. Welcome, Lydia.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So Lydia is joining us after her big win a couple weekends ago, and I know everybody wants to talk about that, and we will get to it. But Lydia, first, we always talk about the most recent result, and I always ask people, out of all of the races this year, what do you think for the most impressive performance? And you can't pick your own, even though we all picked that last week.
I feel like it's hard to pick just one. Sure. I feel like I still pay attention to the short course stuff, obviously. So I was very impressed with Erica this past weekend at the World Cup. But then also I don't know. Like Paula's 2 wins in Oceanside and St. George were very impressive to me. I feel like that's big. And yeah, maybe Ironman Hamburg, or maybe Jackie and Karen's. I don't know. A lot of things.
All the
happening.
races. All the races.
Yeah, pretty much just every single one, actually.
I had obviously Erica Ackerland's podium at the World Cup in Mexico. Did I have that right?
Yeah, there was like a hurricane and they were still able to do the race. So
oh, big. Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like all the race briefing, or not race briefings, but course recons, they got canceled because of the weathers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But she sprinted for her first podium, which was awesome. And it was like a sprint diving finish type situation.
Yeah.
Okay, Kelly, you need to explain more, because I didn't see this. So when you say a sprint diving situation, what do you actually mean?
To the line. Everybody was nodding to the line. I just like everyone was nodding at me as if we all just forgot this is a podcast and they can't see you nodding.
Yeah, no, it was really good. And she's newly married too. She just had her wedding a couple weeks ago.
There you go. But yes, Joanne, to the line. They were sprinting neck and neck all the way to the line, and then it was kind of like a dive across the line. So.
Wow.
Very excited. We don't get that often in long distance racing.
I was going to say, it's more common in short course, but
yeah,
but still really exciting for the finish. And I think also that within her run, she'd faded, not faded, but she wasn't at the front. And then the second half of the run, she really came on, which is great.
Lydia, have you trained? Because she trained some out in Arizona too, right? Do you guys all know each other? Is that a thing in short course racing?
Yeah, I feel like it's a thing I feel like I know everybody now. Yeah, she trained in Tucson. I think she stopped now, but the first winter that I came here, I saw her on one ride. But yeah, I know her a little bit.
Yeah, now she's more in Boulder. And,
okay.
Yep. And her husband coaches her.
Oh, really?
Yep, Elliot.
I guess that works for... Alyssa last week with her racing with her husband. I guess that works for some people.
Some people have stronger than we do.
All right, other races this past weekend. I also want to say I was really excited to see Indy Lee back on top at Ironman Les Sables, and that means she'll be in Kona, which is exciting. I just like Indy cracks me up. I just think I root for everyone who makes me laugh. Is basically.
She has such a great attitude. She really does. And she's so much fun. Even in real life, she's so much fun as well. It's not put on for the socials or for her YouTube channel. Like, she just is an awful lot of fun, and she just absolutely loves the sport. Yeah, I agree that was probably the highlight for me as well. But also Els Visser was on the podium as well. And that's great because she didn't have a great start to the season between the DNF in South Africa and then making the error not to take a turn in Hamburg, and she got disqualified, and she was gunning for a Kona slot. So it was great to see her on a podium as well. So and I'm delighted that Indy took that win as well. It's been a while since she stood on the top step of an Ironman podium, so it's great to see her up there. Yeah, I didn't see much racing this weekend now, but they were two results that I was very impressed by.
Because Indy was sick, racing. Right? She had to pull out of a couple races, or at least one.
Yeah. I think Indy's last big win was the T100 was it Miami she won?
Oh, yeah, that was crazy.
Such an incredible race. Yeah, she did so well. It's been kind of up and down since, from what I could see in the results on that. But yeah, no, it's good.
We're getting down to the end of like qualification too, right? For Kona and Marbella, 7.3, however you say that. Thank you. Just like
that, Marbella.
So we're getting, I think there's only a couple races left before, like late Placid, like the last one.
For Kona.
It's crazy because I feel like you guys are just like, the longer course athletes are just like about to be done with the qualification, and we're like ramping up with everything, with the races.
True.
Yeah, I don't understand why the qualification ends so early, and why the qualification ends earlier for 70.3 than it does for Kona, even though Kona's before.
Oh, okay. That's what I was gonna say. Isn't it because, I mean, I know for Kona historically, and then obviously now Kona and Nice, it's because like you really don't want to be racing a qualifying Ironman like 3 weeks before.
Plus also this year and last year were both late races. I mean, December for New Zealand, November for Marbella. It's very, very late. Right. Whereas the previous year we were in Finland in August, and Utah the year before, and I think it was October as well. So they've been very kind of late. August is probably the earliest we've had in the past 4 years of dates for the 70.3.
I do like it when 70.3 is later after the full. I think you get like, I don't know, I just think it's more fun. Like you get more people out, and it makes it like a cap to the season. And when you have both, I think it's also, this is like personal opinion, whatever, but like I think when you have the 2-day format where guys and women get their own day is like obviously everyone's favorite. Like it is what people picked in the survey and thing. So I think when you have that at the 70.3 is like everybody, it's like just people's favorite, right? So that is like everyone's there, but they all get to have their own race day, and like the after parties are killer. So that's.
What is it for 70.3 this year? Is it 2 separate days, or is it?
In Marbella.
Yeah. That's like
Okay. I like how I don't even
hang on a second. Do not disqualify for Marbella and you don't know what you're doing.
Oh yeah, but I don't know a whole lot. I just go.
You'll be racing on Saturday, and the boys will race on Sunday.
Okay, that's good. I haven't booked flights, accommodation. Okay. That's
November 7th, on Friday, 2025. From everything I can see,
it's going to be sunny in the Costa del Sol.
Beautiful.
Actually, November 8th.
November 8th, yeah.
I'll correct
and
myself.
The cool thing is as well that the boys generally go out and they cheer on the women on the first day, and then it's really cool because the women then can relax on the Sunday and go out and just cheer on the guys and stuff, and it's very cool. Yeah, it's very cool.
Oh my gosh, I love racing first. It's so nice.
I know. I do think they should rotate it and have like opposite it every year, where like 1 year the men go first. I know, and then everyone's like, "But I like racing first," and you're like, "Dude, that's irrelevant." Like, I don't. Some people like it, some people don't like it. They should just switch so that half the people have what they like 1 year and half the people have what they like the other. Right? Like they should just switch it every year.
That makes the most sense.
I thought you were going to say they should just do it because that's what I want.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that too.
Yeah.
All right, Lydia, you just learned something. I'm glad we were able to help you.
Yeah.
Let us know if you need any more logistics for your world.
Do you want to ask us any questions? Like, do you have any questions for us?
But Joanne, you were saying that you didn't watch a lot of racing this weekend because you were racing. You're doing your own thing.
Yeah, well, right? I wouldn't say I was racing. I would say I was participating in a 24-hour bike race. So around a motorsport track, about an hour outside of Dublin. So it was my 5th year at it. So I MC the race. So I get it underway at 12 o'clock on the Saturday, like a Le Mans start, where the riders are on one side of the racetrack and a crew member on the bike is on the other side. And I go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And then all the riders that are starting for their teams all the solo riders, they run across the track. Their crew member hands them their bike and off they go and the race starts. And they don't stop cycling then until 24 hours later. So I MC it. I MC the start. I MC the end. I go around the safety car and do like some Instagram updates and things like that. Now, we had really bad Wi-Fi, which was a bit of a pity because I could only do one live piece around the course. But then I also cycle it. This is my 4th year taking part in it. 4th year taking part, but actually my first time not really racing it. I was part of a team, but it wasn't a competitive team and I didn't have the training done, but I still had so much fun. It was just brilliant. Cycling through the night, half an hour on, a couple of hours off, and you rest and recover in between each rotation that you do. So it's a 3.5 kilometer track. So you get about maybe 4 to 5 laps done, depending on whether you can grab onto wheels. So it's completely draft legal racing. It's like being in a big bunch. So during the day, you're trying to time it so when you come out of the pits that you actually end up on the back of a group or with somebody that's a little bit stronger than you, so you can sit in their wheel. And then as maybe you might fade and they take off, you're hoping it'll be overtaken by somebody else. You can jump on the back or you can catch a group and give them a pull. And then in the middle of the night, you're literally just chasing red lights, the backs of the lights in front of you, the backs of the bikes in front of you. And it's exhilarating. Absolutely brilliant. So we had great fun. But I am exhausted. I'm so tired. I had no sleep. So from 6:30 Saturday morning until 4:30 Sunday afternoon, I did not sleep.
I feel like biking at night would stress me out.
Oh, it is the most exhilarating thing. Your senses are so in tune with what's going on around you. So you have to watch everything. You're listening for everything. It's exhilarating. I think it's something that everybody should do if they get the opportunity, if they like cycling. And it's so pitch black that all you have is the light on your bike that you can see with, and the lights of the bikes that are, maybe they could be like 5 meters in front of you, or they could be 20 meters or 100 meters. And that's all you can see. And you're just zooming along. You think you're going so fast. So like, I think I was doing 30 kilometers an hour. I thought I was doing 50. Like, it was so cool. 50 would have been nice.
Oh, yeah.
Like your fingers.
That happens running too.
Yeah.
I feel like that happens running too in the dark because like you're late and then you're just like, I'm going so fast. And then you're like, oh, I ran like a 10-minute mile. Because it's just like the light makes you feel.
Yeah, it's very, very cool.
Speeding along.
Yeah. It's a pity we can't have like nighttime triathlons.
Yeah, it's probably a bad idea.
Probably. It'd be like somebody saying, why don't we do a triathlon when we end with the swim and we start with the run? It's like, that's not going to work.
Probably a bad idea.
Hey, we do that.
Well, yeah, but no, in Super Tri, Katie, they are not concerned about the Olympians drowning.
No, that is true. They're not sticking people into a swim after doing a 6-hour marathon on a 5-hour bike.
But there is one in North Carolina that I just looked up where it's reverse. It's for age group. It's not a professional.
Yeah, I mean,
race.
I'm sure but in general, they do it
yes.
most dangerous to least dangerous sport. That is the idea. So if you like pass out or have a heart attack, you're like less and less likely to die.
But also from a participatory perspective as well. Could you imagine trying to do a TT start, which we have to do sometimes when swims get cancelled, but trying to do a TT start for 3,000 people with 2 athletes every 3 seconds? It's just nuts. It takes so long.
No.
Yeah, we did that at the Nations Tri during my year of age group racing. It was that.
It's a lot for everybody, for the athletes and the organisers together, trying to get everybody up. But could you imagine doing a mass start of 3,000 athletes? Remember when we had the mass swim starts? 3,000 athletes into the water, 3,000 athletes on their bikes. Go.
I do kind of like, I will say, and maybe we can vote on this. I am pro the mass age group starts for at least for championship races. Like I do feel like at championship racing, the mass start, because I hate it when you're out there and you don't know if someone started ahead of you or behind you or in a different wave. It's more fun.
But if you're
I understand
a chaser,
that there are I understand there are safety issues and like at regular, like you want to give people the option to like start not with everybody, but for championship racing, I'm pro Masters.
You're saying this to someone who, like, when there's more than like 50 people on the start line, I'm like, oh my God.
All right. Well, before we start talking, because the second half of today, we are definitely going to talk all things Lydia. But I will say, why last thing, here's my update. I am at Western States right now, the 100-mile running race where they definitely run through the night. And did you guys know Heather Jackson, since retiring from triathlon, she's doing gravel racing and trail running. And so she won the 350-mile Unbound. I think we talked about that. And now she's here at the start line to race the pro elite women Western States 100-mile race. And that is crazy.
Yeah, you have to have her on.
I know. I was messaging her, and I think she's a little busy, like right now.
Overextended.
Overextended. But it did. Here's like, we are here because, and there's gonna be like, well, the audience will like hear about this, but we are launching a new women's sports podcast. So we're here because we're going to be doing a bunch of interviews and a new episode. And I also want to tell everybody, it snowed up here over the weekend in June. Like there's another race that goes off the weekend before. That's like a short, like the short course equivalent in trail running. Like it's like a fast short race. And they had to evacuate like 300 people off the mountain because it snowed. Yeah.
Wow.
Everyone's staring. Yeah, it was crazy. So hopefully that doesn't happen.
Definitely not snowing here in North Carolina.
I can confirm it's not snowing in Ireland either. It's a bit wet, but it's not snowing.
No, that's crazy. So, and that must change a lot too, because it's like with the ultra running, like if it does it affect the course?
Yeah.
Or now it's gone.
Yeah.
Is it already gone?
It's mostly already gone, but that's a big deal with Western States. Is like how much snow is still going to be on the ground. It changes how like fast or slow kind of can be. So.
Yeah.
Crazy. I just feel like I need to tell you all that because I'm here staying with a friend who was like hiding in a ski hut for 3 hours with like 90 other runners till they could get evacuated. So
Oh my God.
Wow.
crazy. Ultra running is crazy.
It's like the equivalent of like when it rains for on the bike. Oh no.
Oh no.
We also have a big race coming up
All
this
right.
weekend before we move on to chatting with Lydia. We have the men's Ironman European Championship with an absolutely stacked field. And I know it's long course again, Katie. But we have Christian, we have Patrick, Gustav, Magnus, Rudy, Cam, Ben, Kieran Linders, Gregory Barnaby, like just to name just a few of the top heavy hitters who are lining up in Frankfurt this weekend. And the weather, speaking of weather, we're going to have the opposite in Europe. There is like 40-degree heat coming and the water is already toasty warm for everybody. So it's going to be a phenomenal race day. It's going to be very, very fast, I think. So no more than what happened at Hamburg with the course records falling. I think we're going to see more of that this weekend in Frankfurt.
Right.
Yeah, it's going to be nuts.
Oh, I could see that. The Germans get really into their triathlon too.
Well, they have had
like
multiple
big
Ironman
celebrities.
world champions, to be fair. Yeah. Multiple Ironman world champions.
And then do they do the women's like another week or another?
They did it in Hamburg a few weeks.
Oh,
like that was how they split
was
it up.
their European Championship.
Yeah.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, so it's like a preview of the men's Nice World Championship, really, to see all these guys on the start line for Sunday. I think it's Sunday. It's definitely this weekend. Just can't remember whether it's Saturday or Sunday, but yeah, it's going to be very exciting to watch. So be sure to tune in even.
Yeah, that reminds me too, and this is just like super in the weeds, but for some listeners, there was a rumor going around that the the PTO's like stats website, which is what a lot of us use to like know what's going on and to like keep up. And I looked up Lydia's stats. Anyway, there's a rumor that it was going under and it wasn't being updated anymore. So I emailed the guy who runs it and he said, no, it's definitely going to still be updated. It's definitely still working. So people, don't worry. Lydia, your profile is updated with all of your latest results.
I don't have a picture though. I don't know.
I
how
know
to
you
add my
don't.
picture.
You don't have a little bio either. You need to like email them your bio.
Oh, I got sent a link to do that. I just forgot to.
Good.
Because I didn't know you could like had to be a PTO member. There's so many things. Like I literally don't know anything. Like I didn't know to do a T100 that you had to be a PTO member.
Yeah.
So I had to like make my account, which I thought would maybe like lead me to getting to upload a profile picture. It did not. But yeah,
I feel like this is a learning call for Lydia. And this time next year, she's going to be back on the podcast with us. And she's going to be telling us about all these incredible exploits and wins and podiums and championships and everything that she's going to be racing, telling us everything rather than the other way around.
Definitely.
Yeah, I know some things in life, just not any of these things.
Well, the joy of being a rookie.
All right, we're going to take
a pro rookie, really.
Yeah, so I was going to say.
This is part of it.
I was going to say, we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to hear all about Lydia's rookie year. So we're here from our sponsors, and then Lydia's going to tell us about being a rookie pro.
Here at Feisty, we're excited to be teaming up with Xterra to help get more women onto the trails and into off-road triathlon. Xterra offers a full schedule of off-road triathlons all around the world, from super sprint to Olympic distance, youth races. Their events feature open water swimming, mountain biking, trail running, with a focus on the welcoming community and beautiful destinations. And I want to be clear, anyone can do an Xterra. You can do an Xterra. Even if you've never mountain biked before, other athletes are ready to get you to that finish line and are even known to offer a helping hand during races. In fact, we'll be doing a series of Feisty podcasts and videos with some tips and ways to get started. Stay tuned. You'll also recognize some of the most iconic names in triathlon who got their start in Xterra: Flora Duffy, Mel McQuaid, Leslie Patterson, and next year the World Championship race will return to the US with a new home in New Mexico. And most importantly, Xterra offers equal prize money, recognition, and spots to that World Championship. So if you're looking for a new adventure, hit the dirt and find a race to try at xterraplanet.com. That's XTERRA planet.com.
Hey Feisties, Sarah Gross here. We are so excited to be back with you here on our new, shiny, Feisty Triathlon podcast. Thank you for listening. I am so glad you're here. I want to tell you about one of the Feisty team's favorite recovery products, Previnex's Neurify Plus. I use the chocolate flavor myself every day to support my strength training. At Feisty, we only support brands that our team uses and products that deliver results we have seen for ourselves. Previnex's Neurify Plus is one of the best tasting plant-based and vegan shakes I've tried, and trust me, I've tried a lot. It contains balanced protein, carbs, and fat with comprehensive, high-quality micronutrients to help fuel your health. It also contains probiotics and digestive enzymes, so it's super easy to digest and doesn't give you that bloaty, gassy kind of effect that other protein products can produce. Unlike most supplement brands, Previnex tests everything with pharmaceutical-grade precision, and they also offer a 100% money-back guarantee. So try Neurify Plus or any Previnex product today and you get 15% off your first order with the code FEISTYTRY at Previnex.com. That's FEISTYTRY for 15% off at Previnex.com. The link will be, as always, in the show notes.
Orca has been a longtime partner of Feisty Triathlon, and we've been excited to see them over the years constantly innovating to create the best wetsuits on the market. In 2022, they came out with 6 iconic wetsuits designed to enhance every swimmer's form. And now, in 2025, they've launched a second generation of those suits, with advances in flexibility and freedom of movement to improve your feel for the water and reduce fatigue. Now, the Orca wetsuits are divided into 2 categories, and in each category there are 3 suits with different characteristics and buoyancy levels. So whether you're looking for maximum buoyancy or maximum shoulder mobility or a mix of the two, Orca has a suit for you. Get ready for race season with an Orca wetsuit and use the code FEISTY15 for 15% off at orca.com. That's FEISTY15 for 15% off at orca.com.
We're back. Everyone wants to hear about your big Happy Valley win. And we were talking about it last week, and we were like, that the kind of confidence, this is what Katie was saying, the confidence it takes to go out there and be like, I'm going to run down the world champion. I mean, were you even thinking about that while it was happening?
I mean, like, yes and no, I guess. Like, I was just kind of going out there and doing my thing. I won't say I didn't think I was going to catch up to Chelsea, but like, I wasn't really sure. And the course is pretty like twisty turny, so you can't really like there's a few spots where you'll do like a little out and back and you can see, but it was pretty hard to tell like how much like if I was making up time and like what the situation really was. But I mean, once you've caught up, you're like, well, if I caught up and made up 2 minutes, I'm obviously running faster. So then like it's not like it is a big decision like, oh, do I make the pass or not? Like obviously you make the pass because at that point I was running faster. So
And do you do your longer course racing by feel, or do you do by pacing?
I wear my watch, but I don't have like one specific pace that I'm aiming for.
Like when
Like,
you got
I
off the
kinda,
bike, you
like-
just went.
Yeah, like I'm pretty good at like feeling out my pace and like knowing what I'm capable of. I think like if anything, like I could be pushing myself a little bit harder.
So tell us, what did it take to win that race? What was your pace for the half marathon?
It was 5:50 per mile. I'm sorry, I don't know what that is in kilometers.
That's fast.
Well, I would also like to know your power numbers, Lydia. I'm kidding. You just moved over though from short course, right? How many long distance races have you done now? 3?
But she's not moved over, right? You're still
No,
both.
I am. Yeah. No.
Oh, you're not both anymore. Oh, this is sad. Sad
Sorry
news
to
for
burst
the
your
World
bubble.
Triathlon side.
Yeah, I know last week you were saying I'm on Montreal. They put me on as a placeholder.
Oh,
I just like got an email and they were like, we're putting you on here. And I said, okay, doesn't bother me. But yeah, I started the season thinking, yeah, maybe I haven't officially told Tommy that, Katie. Maybe
Well-
he's confused as well.
No. And it wasn't, it was just, I was like looking through like your profile on Triathlon, like that Triathlon life. And it still said like goals were U23 as well as.
Yeah, so that was how I began the season. And then I did a couple races and I was like, yeah, short course is not happening.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Why?
I just-
Why?
Because it's so not I'm not built like that. I'm not built to be aggressive like that. I don't like getting drowned. The bike really scares me. I've crashed a lot in short course. I think I've crashed too much for the short number of years I've been racing. But it's just not like the short fast is not my thing, clearly.
So it's good to like know that though, and like be able to be confident with
Yeah.
the move.
Yeah,
Yeah,
at first
now
I
you've
felt
done-
unsure, but
Now you've
Yeah.
done, but you've done like 3 long distance, 3, 2,
Three.
yeah,
Three.
3.
3, 2, 4.
like kind of 3.
So,
3.
Lydia, for people who are tuning in who are not from the States and may not be aware of your prowess as an athlete before you moved across into 70.3 racing, give us a little bit of your background, just a flavor of the background for the listeners who are based outside of the US who are tuning in.
Well, I was a swimmer as a kid, and then I was a runner, and then I started running. Like my collegiate career, I started out running, and I ran at the University of Oregon for a year, and the University of New Mexico for not really a year. It was like a fall. And then I kept getting injured at those places, so I got into cycling, and then I had a friend who was in the USA Triathlon collegiate recruitment program, so she put me in touch with them, and then that's how I got into triathlon and started racing short course, which I did for 3 years.
And when you say you got into cycling from being injured, was that like going onto the bike for being like cross training, or did someone actually introduce you to like the cycling community?
When I was at Oregon, it was just like a stationary bike, but then at New Mexico, I actually like got a road bike and like started doing like some little group rides and like actually exploring the world on a bike, not just pedaling away trying to be able to run fast again.
I didn't know I knew you'd run before. I didn't know you were at Oregon. That's interesting. And I know like we've talked about like your coach then in triathlon at Arizona was also like pretty awesome, right? And made that team like pretty
I'm still
cool.
working with him. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Will you do NCAA this year or no? Are you done?
No, I'm out of eligibility.
You're out of eligibility for that. Yeah.
And you're finished college now and everything as well, are you?
So I like graduated in May, but I have classes that I'm finishing up right now, and then I'm starting my master's in August. So yes and
Ooh,
no.
master's in what?
Legal studies.
Ooh, interesting. So then how does one plan to balance your career as a professional athlete and your career as a student? And you're doing your master?
Well, thus far I've taken my classes online, and really I don't have to do a whole lot for that. So yeah, it's pretty chill. My master's will also be online, so I get to do it whenever I want. The couch is my classroom.
And is the couch also your workplace then as the Feisty intern?
Yes. Sometimes I go to a cafe on Mondays when it's my day off.
And do you love it? Do you love it? All of
Which
it.
part?
Which part?
All of it. I mean, you
do,
must.
yeah.
If you're going to choose to do triathlon, to work as a Feisty intern, and to go back to college to do a master's, you must love some aspect of every part of it. Otherwise, you wouldn't choose to do those bits.
Yeah, I mean the master's is definitely like I could, if I were living in a vacuum, I could take it or leave it, but I think it's like the responsible thing to do while I have some momentum with school to like have myself set up for success after sport.
You take it or leave it. You probably shouldn't put that on your application for admission.
Oh, they've already accepted me. So.
They've already accepted her.
Let's talk a little bit more about NCAA, because you guys won the NCAA title last year, and the slogan was "Why not us?" And by the way, you have I really want your sweatshirt that says "Why not me? Why not us?" I say this to you all the time. But
Yeah.
how has NCAA? I mean, how did it compare to running at the college level? And then how has it kind of grown? Because I know the team was pretty key in you getting into triathlon, right? Like having all those people.
Yeah, not like getting, because I was already in triathlon when I came to Arizona, but yeah, I think definitely well, I guess that's twofold. Like the differences between that and running, I think just in running in the NCAA, it felt like a lot of pressure, and also just you're very replaceable, it felt like, especially at those high performing schools. If you don't do well, somebody else is going to, and they don't really need you, or if you're injured, there's going to be somebody else who can step up and do what you also could have done. So it's just I don't know, it didn't feel super there's a lot of value as an individual. But I think in triathlon, I mean, especially just on my team, I think it's it's a smaller team, it's a newer program, but I think there's a lot of emphasis on the value that each individual brings. And I think that's also when there's 3 disciplines, everybody has kind of a different skill set. In running, you're either your speed is whatever your speed is, and maybe you're different, good at different events, but you're not you're kind of fast or you're not really at the end of the day. But in triathlon, there's so many different combinations of strengths you can have, and even you add in transitions and stuff like that, and it's I think there's so much more of a spectrum of different values that different people can bring.
And you guys and that work together on the Arizona team pretty well. It's obviously pretty well.
Yeah, quite well. Yeah. And we have girls from all over the world, so I think that it just, every day is different. Every person has their weird crazy things they say, or we have weird things that we call pace lining hedez-vous. Still not sure what it means. Not sure what country that came from. That's not what it's actually called in any country, but our coach will be like, okay, go do hedez-vous, and we go do our little pace line in the parking lot. So I think it's just this celebration of each person's individuality that I've seen, and I think that's true at other schools as well. I don't think that's necessarily unique to Arizona, but I think we do a good job.
And it'll be super cool with traveling, like more when you go out of the country, having all your teammates in different places, and like you get your you get your bases.
Yeah, a bunch of my teammates right now, they're like, they raced in the Netherlands and like now they're in Italy at our Italian teammate's house, and then they're like going to go over to Tizzy, and I don't know whose house they're going to after that, but
Because yeah, her team, like Lydia's doing really well, and then her teammates Mia and Ruth are doing really well too right now. They're the ones who just raced in Holton, so
yeah.
well,
Wait,
and
Katie-
Wells.
Katie said before we got on that she was there for Lydia's started triathlon, and I went to. I want to hear more about this.
Well, I was just at your first camp, so she did like the CRP.
You were on my first
camp.
race.
And well, yes, and your first race. Yeah, they were a little bit combo, and then actually like coming back into racing after having Kimball, I was also with Lydia, then racing with Lydia at like,
Oh yeah, I was at your first race.
yeah, you were at my first race then. So, we've both been there for each other. And but no, it's super cool to just see how like, I mean, in my head hasn't been that much time since then, but it's been like 4 years, so
Yeah.
well, no, 3 years. 3 years.
So Lydia, are you racing with a team now at all?
Not like racing on the U of A team, but I'm still
Oh,
training.
that's what I was going to ask. How are you finding the transition from having teammates to train with and race with to suddenly going to the individual 70.3 middle distance racing where you don't have a team? You might have athletes to train with around you, but they're not part of that team spirit, team camaraderie piece. Lovely cat, but what's the cat name?
Lydia's cat.
The
Just,
cat's name is Bandit.
So for those who are listening, we've just had Lydia's cat Bandit join us on the podcast.
To your question about the team, it definitely has been different, like going to races by myself, but I think like my team's very supportive, so I feel like they're always sending me texts and like wishing me good luck, and they like watch my races when they can and cheer for me, and they want to hear all about it. So that's really fun. And then also being on the TTL Devo team and like getting to have Eric and Paula at my first 2 races was super helpful because it felt like I wasn't just some girl who was out there doing it by myself. Like I had something that I was part of.
I feel like that's the most daunting thing for going from, at least in my experience, from short course to long course, because in short course it feels like you have like a network. Like I felt like I had a network or a team around me, and then like long course is so solo that it's nice to hear that your experience was just like being brought into that, which my like one experience of longer course racing was exactly that, because everybody's just so kind, but you just have to like, it's more facilitated on your own than
and like you don't have the benefit of like for a short course race, like you'll just kind of befriend anyone who's from your same country, like even if you don't know them. But when you're not racing for your country, it's a little bit like, or especially when you're racing in the US, like everybody's from the US, you're not gonna
I was gonna say, I think when
you're from here.
When you do long distance races in other countries, you will have a similar, like, anyone who speaks English is now your best friend.
Yeah.
Because, like, I feel like that's what happens. Yeah.
There's lots of us that speak English.
Whatever. I've had this happen multiple times, and that is like, you just befriend anyone who's like, okay, this person also is confused about what's going on.
like we have it the best. Most people speak English. They're all like
That's true.
the Americans aren't speaking any other language.
Yeah, but I feel like I've made a lot of like friends with other people, especially in Happy Valley. I felt like I was very social. I was living my best social life.
Well, talk us through the race in Happy Valley. Sorry, Kelly, just because we've kind of talked around it, but talk us through the actual race and how it went down. I know you won, but how did you end up on the podium? Talk us through the swim, bike, and run.
Yeah, so the swim was a little bit strange. I don't know, because Victoria Lopez was there, and she's obviously like a crazy swimmer, so you don't like, she just kind of goes and does her thing. But we're swimming, and I could see also the start was like unnecessarily aggressive. Like I don't know what was happening, but there were a lot of like not actual punches being thrown, but like I was like, why are we fighting? Let's just maybe swim. This is not a short course race. And was like, we have 500 meters till the first buoy. Like, what's going on right now? But anyway, so we get out, and then I could see there was like someone or other people with Victoria, and I thought maybe it was like Chelsea and Grace Alexander. So I was like, oh no, like those were the people I was supposed to be with, and now they're gone. So I was like not feeling so great about things. But then I found Jeannie because her wetsuit's very recognizable. And so then I swam with her, and then I found Chelsea, so she actually wasn't out there. So then I was swimming on Chelsea's feet, and Jeannie was also there somewhere next to me or something. So I was like, okay, gang's kind of all here. And then we got out of the water, and Grace was there too. And I was like, oh my gosh, gang's truly all here. So then we got on the bike, and it was really muddy, and it was like this weird, like you ran in the grass and the mud through these trees with your bike, and like a jaunt through the forest. So then we got on the bike, and we pretty quickly like grouped up into the four of us, Chelsea, Jeannie, Grace, and myself. And yeah, it was pretty much just like that for the majority of the bike. I got dropped a little on a couple like downhills, but I just like really had to dial in the self-talk and convince myself that I could catch back up. And then there were like two bigger climbs. And the first one I was fine and like caught back up after the descent. The bigger one, then it was like foggy, and the descent's like twisty turny through all these trees. And we get to the top, and Chelsea and Grace just in the aero bars send it down. You can't like, you couldn't hardly see what's around these turns. I was like, I am not gonna make it on the podium if I crash on this. So I need to like take a moment to chill. So, but then Jeannie was behind me, so she like went in front of me, and I kind of followed her down. She was a little bit more cautious. Then she and I finished maybe the last 10 miles of the bike together. And we came off the bike 2 minutes down from Chelsea and Grace, and maybe 3 minutes down from Victoria, something like that. So yeah, then it was time to run, which I know is my strength. So that's good. I feel very confident when I get off the bike. Like okay, everything's in my control now, finally. Like, so yeah, I passed Grace relatively quickly, and I didn't know what Jeannie's like running speed was going to be, so I was like, okay, I kind of have to be on it a little bit. And then yeah, past Victoria eventually, probably like the middle of the first lap, or towards the end of the first 2/3 of the way through the first lap. And actually her husband flew in after his race in Boulder. He flew in that night, slept in the car, and came to watch the race, and he's like there on the course, and I'm like, hey, and he's like, girl, Lydia. They were so tired. Somebody said they saw him like laying down on the course when like he was waiting for Victoria to come by. So yeah, saw him, and then it wasn't until the end of the first lap, no, the beginning of the second lap, that I passed Chelsea. So you like run through the Penn State football stadium at the beginning of each lap, which is pretty cool. And yes, then I passed her like coming out of there, and then I was very nervous that she was going to make it really hard for me. I was like, I feel like if she wanted, like, she's a very fast runner, so she could make it difficult depending on the day. And she stuck with me for a little bit, I think. Like, half a lap in, the gap had only grown to like 30 seconds, maybe. So I don't really know what happened after that. But I was, like, kept asking people I saw on course. I was like, how far back is she? And then, like, going up the final hill, like, to get to the finish, I was so nervous that I was like, this isn't real. Like, I must have done something wrong. Like, I must have, like, a penalty that I didn't take. Katie knows that's a very real thing that I've experienced. So I was like, there's an official on, like, a moto, and I look at him and I'm like, am I good? Like, I don't have a penalty or anything, right? He's like, no. And I'm like, and I went the right way? And he's like, yeah, you're good. Just go to the finish. I was like, okay. And so, yeah, then
And what was it like running down the finish line, taking your first win at Ironman 70.3?
It was pretty surreal. Again, I was like a little bit convinced that I had done something wrong. Like I was like, are we sure? But it was very fun, and my mom was there. My high school coach was also there, so it was fun to see them. And I guess like the race directors gave everyone little like cheerleading pom poms. They're all like waving their pom poms, and it was fun.
It sounds like descending on the bike is what you're gonna focus on before 70.3 Worlds.
Yeah, it has gotten a lot better, I will say. Like Oceanside, well, okay, the whole biking like being comfortable situation has gotten better since Oceanside, but Oceanside, like everybody passed me. I was like, Paula and I were the first 2 out of transition. Then I got off the bike 15th, and it was not because of a power issue. It was because I was riding like a freak.
But how long have you been riding a TT bike?
Since December.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, I've
And
only
in
been
Arizona,
riding a bike in general for 3 years. So
Yeah.
Okay, so just watch out, people. Once Lydia learns how to descend, it's going to be crazy.
yeah, but I'm getting there. This time was really good, and it was raining. So I feel like
Yeah, that's true.
if I can do it when it's raining, I can do it anytime.
Nice. Excellent.
Yeah.
And so I keep saying that this is your rookie pro season, and I guess that's true, right? I mean, I know you were racing like U23 and some Triathlete Goal 4, but would you consider this your rookie pro season, or was I just making that up?
It feels like my rookie something season.
Okay.
She's
Maybe-
just
maybe my-
started on a different side of things.
Yeah, maybe like my rebirth season, if you will.
That seems fair. And so now it seems like, okay, so you're saying you don't know anything about being a rookie pro, we're going to say it. What don't you know? Like, what are your questions?
Like, I don't know a lot of things. Like, you should like at Oceanside, I like Paula and Eric probably wanted to like duct tape my mouth shut because I was like, guys, I'm so sorry, but I have another like 5 questions after the briefing. I like walk up to Paula and I like have my like notes app pulled up and I'm like, so how do we do like all these things? And then yeah, just like periodically I'll text them questions or like I didn't even know. So this Happy Valley was wetsuit, but it was not wetsuit until the morning of. And I had never raced in my swim skin before. I just got it. Shout out to Orca. They sent it to me through Feisty. But I didn't even know that like the zipper did the thing where you like flick it up and then you pull it open. Didn't know that till 2 days before the race when Chelsea told me. I was like, Chelsea, why do these not have a string? And she was like, oh, you sweet young idiot.
Actually, a lot of people don't realize
and you pull
that.
it open.
A lot of people don't realize that. And
Well,
I've
yeah,
seen,
because like why it's not obvious. But I didn't even know like my race suit has the same thing. But this whole time I've been like, why is it just like pulling open? Like, why does this zipper not stay up? So it turns out that like
I feel like we should have a whole segment on the podcast called Rookie Pro Questions with Lydia. Yeah. So send in your Rookie Pro questions. We get Lydia to answer them. Or maybe Lydia sends them to us and we'll answer them for her.
There's just like so many things I think in the sport that you don't like. People think they're obvious, and then you don't realize them. Like I didn't know my first year in the sport that you like needed to change out your cleats on the bike.
When they
on your
wear
bike
out.
shoes. Yeah, so I learned that the hard way, face down in the middle of the road in Portugal. Yeah. So, but like, how would I know?
So, what's the biggest question you've had answered so far?
The thing is, there's none of them like that are big. They're just all like stupid little things. Like, I don't know.
So beyond your,
I
yeah,
feel
go on.
that.
Sorry, Kelly.
No, I was trying to think back to like my first year pro, and I was like, I feel that, and I do feel like I wandered around and just like followed people. Like I'd be like, oh, Marinda Carfrey knows what she's doing. I'll just follow her wherever she goes, right? Like, and then it worked, and then I was like, this works.
Yeah.
But-
Or like even like on the bike, like I don't know what 12 meters looks like. So I just sat in the back of the group and like watched how far everyone else was spaced out, and the official didn't yell at me.
Yeah,
So
it's important you know what the draft legal zone is. Very important.
yeah, well, the only other races I've done have race rangers, so then it's easy.
Okay, yes, that does make
It's
it easier.
about. I was like, Jimmy always says it's about the distance of like the reflector lights on a road, like in the middle of the, like where like when you're out on a road.
So,
and
but
there's,
I
like,
don't
there's space.
frequently pay attention
Yeah.
to that.
Sure, but when you're racing, you can like see those on the side of the road. And you can be like,
Oh, like they're yeah.
yeah. See,
Yeah. I was also scared before this race because it's an open course. So they were like, oh yeah, there's just gonna be cars and horse and buggies and just don't worry about it.
So what's next then, Lydia?
It was fun.
What's the plan? You've qualified for Marbella. What other pro races are you planning for the season?
I'm trying to get a T100 wild card, ideally for London, but we shall see about that because apparently for the contender rankings, which they're using for the first 3 wild cards for every race, you have to have 5 races, even though you have to have only 3 races for that count towards your PTO ranking. So if there's more than 3 wild cards for London, then they're discretionary after 3, so then I might get one. But if there's only 3, then I likely won't get one. And yeah, it's very complicated. But anyway,
It is
after
very
that,
complicated. But there's basically been more than 3 wild cards every race on the women's side.
Yeah, I
so
know.
there's been like 10 wild cards every race. So you should be good.
yeah. Yeah, but then after that, I'm thinking 70.3 Louisville, Kentucky, and 70.3 Augusta, Maine.
What do you base those
yeah, for
off
second-
of?
The calendar. I don't know. Like, because I did 3, and then I was like, okay, I need to like take a moment to pause. Like, I cannot just keep doing a race every month.
Sure.
Like, this is a little bit exhausting for my first year. So I'm taking July to train, and I just got a dog, and I'm moving into a new apartment. So
And are you
it's different chaos in July.
Okay.
and has your training changed very much since you switched, or is it similar? Just
It's pretty similar. Like, maybe like a little longer on the bike, but I think, yeah, I guess just like slightly different workouts, but the swim is all the same. Yeah, just like slightly different workouts and a little bit more time on the bike. And I guess maybe a little different run workouts, but not really, because I still do a lot of the same track workouts with my team. Like, maybe I'll have like an extra rep or something, but
I was gonna ask if you could do a lot with your teammates from U of A. So.
yeah. Yeah.
You can. It is governed by NCAA rules, right? Like
What is?
draft legal triathlon, the team at Arizona.
Yeah. Well, I don't know in what sense you mean necessarily.
Well, there's
but-
like if it's because it's not fully NCAA yet, right? And there's like once something's fully
Right.
NCAA, there's like rules about like hours and how.
Oh
who
yeah,
can
those
be with
yeah,
it
we still
and
have all those rules.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So you can't like train with the team if you haven't been on the team. So we can't like bring in other people.
That's what I was thinking. There's like rules about who can train with the team and that
Yeah.
kind of thing. Okay.
Yeah. And there's like a cap on the mandatory hours that the team can train.
Are you considered a grad assistant or not really?
No, I'm just
Just a person
I'm
there.
just Lydia.
I'm
Yeah.
just hanging out.
Yeah. I'm just the local team grifter.
mascot.
All right, so Joanne asked you about races coming up. Do you have like what is your 5-year plan here?
I was
Lydia? Are you
I was
gonna
going
win
to say what's your
2022
6-month
Worlds? Yeah.
plan? Like look back and see what we would do. You're going to go straight in for the 5 years. You go, Kelly.
I mean, I've kind of like fast tracked year 1, so who knows? Like when Wes and I were talking like after nationals last year, like in November, he was like, I think it's time. I think it's time for you to try a long course race. And I was like, damn, so you're just saying I suck at short course. And he was like, no, like I just think like you could be really good at it. Like you could be the best in the world in 2 years. And I'm like, well, okay, like if you say so, like that's kind of a tall order, Wes. Like,
yeah.
but I don't know, maybe it's working. So we'll see. It has been fun. Like in 3 races, my racing has improved a lot. So I think probably I just need to race more because like my power on the bike is really good. Like I think it's high enough to be competitive with the best. And we know my run is really good and my swim's seemingly good enough. I thought I was really bad at swimming, but
Apparently not.
That's only because you were in draft legal racing. Yeah, you come over here and we're all like,
Yeah.
wow,
Yeah.
you're amazing.
So Lydia, you mentioned about being best in the world and having the output to, to compete with the best in the world. So for you, who is the best in the world? Doesn't have to be the athlete who is the best in the world, but for you personally, looking at them, who do you think is the best athlete in the world? It's not a trick question. You won't get into trouble. Or maybe I'll rephrase it and say,
Okay.
like, who do you
Well-
admire the most who's at the pointy end of business of the professional women?
I mean, definitely Paula, because like now I'd like to say we're friends. I don't know if she'd say we're
Besties?
friends, but we're getting there.
Besties?
I mean, I use the word bestie very loosely. Like I'll say anyone's my bestie. So,
That's what my sister does too.
but yeah, I mean, I think it's hard. So like, obviously we could say like Taylor Nibb's the best in the world, but she won't share her power numbers with anybody. So how am I ever to figure out if I can stack up against her if I'm not racing against her? We can't. So we're just gonna discard her because I really don't know what kind of power she's pushing. But like Jackie, Paula, like they share their numbers kind of freely in podcasts when they're asked about it. And I feel like Paula, she's like a little bit stronger than me on the bike, but like not too much. So yeah. Like she's a little bit smaller than me, but our power numbers are similar.
Sure. So. Wait, Taylor won't share her power numbers? I like remember when I was working at Triathlete, she just like sent me a whole workout of hers, like with numbers. But that was an old coach.
She doesn't share what she holds for a 70.3.
Oh, interesting.
Because Jack Kelly always tries to get it out of her on Triathlon Hour.
Maybe he just like she just doesn't like
life's
him.
mission.
Yeah, maybe.
No, I think she does. I think they're like besties, as we said.
Like real besties now, or Lydia loose besties?
Like real besties.
Well, when I say bestie, like I'm besties with them in my heart, but like,
right,
that doesn't mean it's reciprocated.
I think there's a word for that.
I think he thinks they're besties.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh.
That's fair.
And she tolerates him.
Sure. Okay. I see that. So you have Paula, and like you mentioned it, but obviously you're on that triathlon development team. And has that been really helpful? Like it sounds like it's been helpful.
Yeah, it's been very helpful. I mean, it's just like getting the exposure. I mean, I wouldn't be getting as much exposure as I've gotten if it wasn't for that. Like every time they post me, I get like 50 new followers. So, and like being on their podcast, like was super helpful. But yeah, it's just been fun, honestly.
The most important thing you said there was fun.
Yep.
Fast is fun, isn't that what Paula said? Or fun is fast? I can't remember. It was some F and F, but it was definitely fun is fast or fast is fun. One way or the other. But that was it.
I know she has to go to swim practice soon, Joanne. So I was gonna say let's finish it up. My question, unless you have another question, was gonna be, what is your favorite part of triathlon? What's the most fun?
Like of the 3 disciplines, or like
No, it's all
just
encompassing
in general?
of the general triathlon life.
Yeah. Yes.
You can have 2 answers.
I like how again we're like, this is not a trick question.
I feel like Lydia's been bombarded.
Okay.
We're too much for her.
I have 2 answers, and they're very like random. But one is being social and making friends, because despite the fact that I'm an introvert sometimes, well, maybe I'm not an introvert, maybe I just have only child syndrome, I don't know, but Kelly, you can let me know in like 10 years if your kid is the same. But like I really like meeting people and like making new friends and all that. So that's number 1. And number 2 is very specific, but the coffee culture of triathlon. I feel like I have become a better coffee drinker and a better person for that since entering the sport. So
you have a coffee sponsor, right?
Yeah, I do.
That's exciting. Do you use coffee for the performance or for the social, or for you just like the routine of it, or all of the above?
All of the above. I probably overconsume coffee because we got an espresso machine for my birthday, so that's been very fun. And I live within like a 1-minute walk of 2 different coffee shops.
And so when you go to the coffee shop, what's the
fun.
order?
Well, if there's a seasonal latte, I'll always get whatever the seasonal latte is, iced with oat milk. But if there's no like fun seasonal latte that speaks to me, an iced oat milk latte with vanilla.
Very specific.
And will you do the art?
I can't do the art. I can't figure out how. If anybody has any tips,
So
send
she
me a
needs to
DM
go to
and let me
barista
know.
school on top of doing a master's, on top of being a feisty intern, on top of being a professional athlete.
Yeah.
And yeah, we can add that to my list of questions.
Okay, brilliant.
Actually, is
Okay, good.
yeah,
All right. She does have swim practice, so
yeah.
Thanks for joining us, Lydia. And you should send us your questions, and we'll have like people answer them every week. It'll be great. It'll be a whole segment.
Lydia's corner.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, you have to make like a little jingle for it that you can
Okay, good. We will
play.
do. And by we, I mean I'm going to ask
Or-
you
or-
to find music as
Yeah,
the
I was
intern.
gonna say. Perfect.
All right, thanks for coming on, Lydia, and good luck.
Thank you. Thanks.